Hey there guys, Aldershot here, and today we're going to do an early impression video on Action Henk, developed by Rage Squid, and will be on Steam at the regular price of $10. Now Action Henk, just like all the games in our early impression series, is going to be in the early access program of Steam. So the game very much is still in development. There's still some features and gameplay and all that sort of stuff that is still yet to be implemented, so do keep that in mind, alright? But we are going to kind of explore what the game is currently anyways, just to give you guys an idea of what Action Henk is all about. It is a speedrunning platformer, is the best way I can describe it, so let's get into it and talk a little bit more about it. So there is multiple characters to kind of play as, and as you can see, they are basically kind of toy themed. They're all like action figures and that sort of stuff. I've only unlocked Henk, which is your default character so far, but each character actually has multiple outfits that you can also unlock, which is kind of cool. Definitely adds a little bit of incentive for the collectible in all of us gamers out there. This is his default outfit, but I have unlocked his ballerina outfit. And my favorite, which is an obvious Sonic tribute called the Blue Blaze Henk. So we'll take that out for a spin because it is my favorite. Alright. And we will go into, I don't know, let's go into this level, why not? And explore the gameplay a little bit. Now, at the beginning of any round, you can choose 3 preset ghosts for you to challenge yourself against, or your own personal best if you already played through the level, or no opponents at all. We're going to choose our personal best, see if we can do a little bit better. And it's all about speedrunning and moving really, really fast, for momentum and all that sort of stuff. So it's going to appeal to a lot of speedrunners out there. That's really the audience that this game is kind of going for. Alright, so it does feature a few mechanics. It does, you know, require you to understand forward momentum, when to butt slide, and when to use your run. That will definitely have a huge effect on your overall progress through the game. Butt sliding will be one of the main mechanics. As you can see, it will help you gain more momentum when you go downhill. But you hold it too long on flat surfaces or upward surfaces, you do end up losing some momentum. So it's all about learning when to release the butt slide and go back into your running position just like that. And at the end of any run, you do have the opportunity to kind of watch your replay in a more dramatic angles, which is kind of cool. I do like that, which is pretty neat. It also allows you to kind of see where you might have went wrong, where you can learn to do a little bit better and all that sort of stuff. So let's kind of explore a different level. Let's check out the highway, why not? So Action Henk really is all about just running forward. I played through a good few of the levels, if not all of the levels that this game currently has to offer. I think there's a few more that I haven't actually tried yet, but I played through most of them, if not all of them. But yeah, Action Henk is again all about speedrunning. It's all about forward momentum, and if you screw up just like that because it is so speedrun heavy in its mechanics, you might as well start over, which the game does give you a start over key, which definitely helps things along. We're going to start this run over again. Actually, we lost a lot of momentum there. But yeah, it's all about forward momentum. It's all about going really, really fast. But unfortunately, playing through many of the levels, if not all of them, the game does feel a little bit repetitive after a little while. There's really not much more mechanics outside of running really, really fast and breaking records. That will be the main incentive to keep playing the game. So if you're not down for something like that, then that might be a bit of an issue, because again, it can be a little bit repetitive. But every now and then, as you progress through the game will kind of we're gonna go to another level. I don't like this one. I don't like that first jump. Let's do this one. As I was saying, as you play through the game does introduce a few new mechanics, introduces some gadgets, in which actually, you know what, we're going to get out of this level and show you some of those gadgets actually. The halfway hook, the hook shot. Yeah, let's try out the hook shot. I think this is the one here. It will show a few gadgets, some potential that this game has to offer as far as mixing the gameplay up a little bit. So here we are, we have the hook shot, which is pretty fun. Allows you to kind of Spider-Man your way across the level, which adds a new layer of mechanics to kind of understand and use to your advantage as far as gaining forward momentum is concerned. Not doing a great job of it right now, but you know, just kind of showcasing what it's all about. Alright, but really, even with the new gadget, it's really just about moving really, really fast and breaking records. Alright, so you gotta be really into that kind of gameplay if you're to enjoy Action Hank at its highest level, so do keep that in mind. Otherwise, it can get a little bit repetitive, like I mentioned, but do keep in mind, this is still in early access, so it can very well change. They might think of new mechanics, new ways to mix the pacing of this game up a little bit. As I mentioned a few times already, it can get a little bit repetitive at its current state, but I see it having a bit of potential. I think if Action Hank drew more inspiration from Sonic, the game that obviously have inspired it already quite a bit, I think it can gain a lot of insight on how to kind of improve the game a little bit, to mix up the level design a little bit, to mix up the mechanics a little bit, just to add a little bit more variety to Action Hank. Now, in the early access page, they did mention that they might consider putting in a level editor for the community to kind of goof around with and to develop their own levels, and I totally screwed that up, to develop their own levels for other players to play and break records in and all that sort of stuff, which I think would actually add a lot of life to Action Hank. I can kind of see it having a almost Little Big Planet kind of appeal if they do that, allowing users to kind of play around with the engine. Could actually add a bit more incentive for players to come back and play again, to explore player-used levels and all that sort of stuff. So I think they should do that. That would probably be a strong selling point for Action Hank. Alright, I'm going to just play through some random levels here while I talk. So I talked a little bit about the mechanics and all that sort of stuff. So let's kind of talk about the art assets a little bit. As you can see, it is very cartoony, you know. The character models are actually done pretty well. I do like it. It has a lot of appeal. It's very, very well designed. And the modeling and texturing and the technical aspects of the character models are actually quite good. I actually really, really like the way Action Hank looks and what he's all about and all that sort of stuff. And I do like the environment models, although I feel it to be recycled a little bit too much. You're really just playing in a kid's room, and that's about it. I just hit replay. Don't want to play that again. Let's try Hot Feet, why not? But yeah, they do recycle the background quite a bit. Again, this is early access, that's probably the reason why. Hopefully they will add some more variety, hoping that they can keep to the theme of action figures and all that sort of stuff. And as you can probably already notice, although the music is suiting to the game, full of excitement and upbeatness and all that sort of stuff, it is very, very repetitive. It's really the same song on the same loop over and over again. That's probably, again, because it's in early access. Hopefully they will resolve that as the game progresses. That's definitely going to be one of the main gripes I have with the game, and that's the repetitive music, which is actually gets on my nerves after a little while, which is a bit unfortunate. But you know, at least the overall visual aesthetics is actually quite nice. Again, the character models are quite well designed. I do like the characters, and modeled quite well, actually. You're taking a good look at it right now. It looks good. It's a good looking character model, so it does have some potential for sure. So that's basically Action Hank in a nutshell. Again, it's all about forward momentum, it's all about speed running and breaking records and all that sort of stuff. So if you're into it, Action Hank is definitely worth check out. It's definitely worth a look. But if you're not, you do have to be wary that it is a little bit repetitive, unfortunately, for the time being. and the music is incredibly repetitive, which is a little bit unfortunate. But overall, it's not a terrible game. It's definitely enjoyable for the most part. When you do get on a really great forward momentum kick, the game does feel pretty fantastic. It does feel pretty speedy, which I do like. And I just like to see the game progress a little bit more. I like to see some more variety thrown in both visually, in the music, and gameplay-wise. And I like to see it draw a few more inspirations from Sonic the Hedgehog, because Sonic, in the early games at least, has a lot of really great level design. There's a lot of reasons why that game is so good. And I think Action Hank can draw a lot of inspiration and learn from Sonic, which I think would help progress this game a little bit further. Honestly, I think I already played through this level. Oh, well, we'll play through it again. Alright, so there we go, guys. That's Action Hank. Not terrible. It has a few issues, but it is in early access, and hopefully they will be resolved. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Hope you guys found this informative. I am Aldershot, so if you did enjoy this, you know, show me some love, like, share, fave, and comments. But most importantly, help me grow, feed me my vegetables, and subscribe. Thanks for watching, guys. Aldershot out.